Good afternoon. My name is Egon Garth Hoffner. I am pleased to announce my candidacy for the Third Mutual Board of Directors. With a serious commitment to our community and a clear vision of the fiduciary responsibility directors owe to their HOA members, I will contribute by working with VMS to effectively oversee our expenditures. My goal is to continue the conservative fiscal actions that I have practiced for 4.5 years as a member of the GRF board. I propose to focus on 3 key areas: ensuring fiscal responsibility, enhancing communications with our members, and improving oversight of VMS activities. First, ensuring fiscal responsibility is paramount. As the board member, I will prioritize the prudent management of the HOA's assets. This means ensuring that our funds are spent effectively and with common sense. An actual example of this is in order. This is a low-dollar project, but easily understandable. It was reported that some pool umbrellas had frayed canopies, so replacement of all umbrellas was recommended by VMS. Well, why would we replace all the umbrellas for $250 each when I can just replace the canopy for $50, and the canopies were specifically designed to be replaced by taking off the old torn one and replacing it with a nice shiny new one. This same short-sighted activity takes place on larger dollar projects as well. Second, enhancing communications is crucial. Clear, open communication between directors and homeowners is a must. Usually this comes in the form of getting help with a stalled project. I have had occasions as a director of GRF to help residents on both Third and United when I was approached by members about their projects which had reached a dead end with VMS staff. To do this, I evaluated the validity of the request and then communicated to the appropriate staff member or director on the member's board to get some activity going. In one case, I made a drawing of the current state of the requested repair and another drawing showing how it should look when it was properly repaired. I turned that in to the director of the Third Mutual Board, and he passed it on, and within a month the project was done. Third, we must improve interaction with VMS and the boards, or our fiduciary and communication efforts will be in vain. We must clearly define a relationship and our expectations. We are a $150 million plus per year operation, and we need to evaluate the quality of our spending decisions more closely. Time and again, we have seen that spending requests made by the board in the boardroom by VMS for potential projects do not appear as necessary as advertised when we actually evaluated by inspections during field site visits. Lesson learned: board members must be involved in understanding the need for spending requests. After all, it is the board members, not VMS, that have a fiduciary responsibility to our members. In summary, I am committed to supporting common sense goals and practice real fiscal responsibility on the board. I'm asking for your vote in the upcoming election. Thank you for your consideration.
My name is Donald Hauptman. I'm 90 years old. I've been a resident of the Laguna Woods for 4.5 years now. By way of background, I've been in government most of my life. My career was over 40 years. When I retired, I was chief of the California State Department of Consumer Affairs Division of Investigation. We regulated most of the businesses and professions that require licensing or certification, including contractors and all the health professions and accountancy and so forth. And we investigated everything and gave us a lot of insight and a lot of involvement in the regulation of those businesses and professions. Additionally, I spent about 5 years with the governor's appointment as a deputy director of the Department of Health, and I was in charge of licensing and certifying all the health facilities in the state of California, hospitals, nursing homes, community care facilities, and the like. What I've learned over those years is, in addition to being an enforcement officer that had to investigate and regulate crimes, was that bureaucracies, government bureaucracies, are insidious. They invade everything. They grow exponentially, they suck up resources, and often they fail to deliver the full measure of their potential to help the people that they're supposed to serve. Here in Laguna Woods, it's pretty much the same kind of thing. Laguna Woods is a marvelous place to live in. It's really very well taken care of. It's run well for the most part, but it was it had benefited by the passage of the Davis-Sterling Act, which was passed to help the membership in community who were living in community where there was common housing for condos and co-ops. And sometimes the management of those associations became too unwieldy and imposed too many restrictions on the people who lived there. And so the Davis-Sterling Act was passed to rail that in. When it was passed, it did a pretty good job of curtailing some of the worst abuses. And over the years, it slipped back again, and then there was a revision of the Davis-Sterling Act. And then the same thing happened again. There was improvement, and then it starts to slip back. And the reason it slips back is the elected officials, as well-meaning as they are reluctant to exercise the required oversight to keep bureaucracies in check. And unchecked bureaucracies are insidious. They take charge, they intimidate the people who are supposed to have oversight over them, and they sometimes have a negative impact on the people they're supposed to be serving. That's no different than what goes on here in Consumer Woods, and it doesn't matter whether the issues are physical plant and maintenance issues and landscaping issues, or matters that involve personal functions like security or landscaping or maintenance. My interest is changing that somewhat. Mostly I'm not unhappy with what's going on, but I do feel that the Third Mutual and other associations need to have better oversight. And I think that's the experience that I've gained in my work at the state level. The first year that I was chief of investigations, I managed to reduce our budget by over 15%, merely by shrinking the span of control, doing away with the deputy chief's position, for example. And in the Department of Health, I was able to absorb new programs without increasing our budget, just by making the organization more efficient and more responsive. That's what I hope to do here. And some of the ways in which you do it is with complete transparency. A lot of what goes on now is done secretly, and it has a negative effect. Transparency develops confidence in the people who are being regulated, and secrecy is just the opposite. It's deadly. And for that reason, I think I can make a significant contribution. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ruth Johnson, and I'm a candidate for the position of Director of the Third Mutual Board. I would be very honored to serve on the board, contributing my business, organizational, technical, and personal skills. I'm prepared to devote significant time and energy to board activities, working together to provide guidance and effect change that will benefit all members of the community. I'm a candidate for 3 reasons. First, to support relationships between the community members, Third Mutual, and VMS, fostering transparency, open dialogue among residents, board members, and VMS. Second, after a thorough analysis of issues, generate new ideas on cost reductions and savings that will benefit all members, and include detailed recommendations on how to achieve them. My goal will be to produce winning outcomes for all parties. Finally, the board needs better representation for women. There is currently only 1 woman on the board and no women candidates to represent our unique approach. I'm confident that I will be a valuable addition to the board, given over 40 years in technology management with documented success in leadership positions, both in public and private companies. I managed multinational electronics companies, including Beckman and Philips, when women were a minority. I started up 2 divisions that provided software, manufacturing, and packaging services for major multinational clients such as Xerox, Texas Instrument, and Hewlett-Packard. I did so by hiring people that were smarter than I was and by building cohesive teams that went on to great success. I traveled worldwide for business and grew to appreciate other cultures and traditions. For the last 12 years, I managed human resources for McDonald's in Hawaii, where we once planned to retire. Life is strange sometimes, so here we are back in Laguna Woods. I hope to join the Third Mutual Board and work with each of you to support the continued health and vitality of our community. My parents were born during the recession. My mother from a small farm in Ohio, and my father a first-generation American. They cared a great deal about their religion, family, and country. They were extremely hardworking, honorable, and generous. And they expected the same of their children, all 4 girls. We were taught that we could achieve anything we wanted in life, but we had to work to the best of our ability or not to do the job at all. I tried to honor their wishes through education and professional experience. Prior to purchasing our home, I enjoyed a 40-year history with Laguna Woods, as my parents were longtime residents of Third Mutual. In addition to my professional career, I am also a volunteer at Saddleback Memorial Care, and I'm currently a member of the VMS board. I was recently endorsed by Garden Villa Association of Laguna Woods for the board position. Previously, I volunteered with Junior Achievement, Women's Crisis Service, and the Humane Society. I was also a certified CPR and AED instructor and provided free training to the community, particularly our children. For fun, I participate in many exercise classes, enjoy reading, hiking, and travel. I try to do at least 1 good deed a day, no matter how simple, like helping someone with groceries, finding help for someone in need, or just listening. I'm honored to be considered for the director position and pledged to support all members with open and honest communication, whole and complete with nothing left out. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Robert Muchnick, and I'm a candidate for the Third Board of Directors. I want to share with you a statement for the next few minutes that'll give you some insight into who I am and what I see my role as in terms of being a director on Third Board. Over the next 3 years, some very difficult but important decisions will have to be made by the Third Board. California law requires that the Third Mutual address the inspection, maintenance, and repair of all balconies, associated with our 3-story buildings. Another recent law requires Third to address the removal of much of our turf and replace it with drought-tolerant plantings. This is especially important as it relates to the areas of both Gate 11 and Gate 14, as they both use only potable water being drinking water. All other gates use what is referred to as gray water, which is recycled water. While Gate 11 and 14 areas will need to be addressed first, eventually all areas of Third will need to come into compliance with this new law. Another issue, property insurance, is still an albatross around the neck of Third Mutual. To keep our premiums affordable, the Third Board has reduced our coverage. Premiums will continue to rise, and if we continue to reduce our coverage, that won't be a sustainable approach. We need, though each of the above issues may not apply directly to you, because we are a shared cost community, how we pay for them impacts all of us. Controlling costs is imperative to our future, imperative to our financial well-being. We need individuals who have experience addressing these issues. Costs in all areas such as landscaping, water, staffing, supplies, and insurance all contribute to our financial stability. Outsourcing responsibilities like we do with tree trimming and slope maintenance may also need to be explored. We need people who can think outside the box, think creatively and critically to be able to maintain the lifestyle that we all have come to enjoy and want to continue to enjoy. I believe that I am one of those people who can do that. I have 11 years' experience as an HOA board member. 3 of them were on Third Mutual. I have the knowledge, experience, and vision necessary to address our issues. We must all work together since every resident shares the costs. I look forward to your support in this election, and I hope to have the opportunity to represent you as a director on Third Mutual. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Craig Wayne. I'm running for Third Board Mutual. I've been a resident here for 6 years. My family owned a manor here for 50 years, and I was lucky enough to inherit that. We're fortunate to live in a place as wonderful as Laguna Woods, but that doesn't mean everything is perfect, and means we have to do some work. And we have some important issues in front of us, like water, like insurance. Those are a couple of the main ones that we have to worry about. We have a duty to balance the amenities with our income, and that's a problem. Our income comes from our dues every month. And of course, as our dues go up, that means it puts more of a strain on our amenities. We have to pay for everything from the gardeners to the electricity in some buildings, to the water. And we have to continue all of those payments no matter what. So what we need to do is balance what we want and what we can afford. And the idea of the board is that we don't want to raise the monthly fee any more than is absolutely necessary. But it is going to be necessary. The insurance rates are going to continue to go up. Even though we have some ideas that may mitigate the insurance rate increase, the insurance will continue to go up. My background is in insurance and investments. I was an insurance broker, and I have several licenses for securities, including a general securities principal license. So I'm in a position, I believe, to be able to contribute in those areas of insurance and of investments. I was on 2 other boards before this. One in San Fernando Valley, which was a startup, and I was the president there, and dealt with the issues of needing landscaping and some other things. So I used my contacts in the insurance business to get insurance, to get the plants at reasonable rates. And I also managed to negotiate with Waste Management for the fee that they were charging us each month. I managed to get that down by agreeing with them that they would bill us, the association, instead of each individual member, so that would be easier for them, and we could include it in our monthly fee. And for doing that, they gave us a 3-year guarantee on the rates. So that's one thing I did there. Over in Hawaii, the other entity that I was a director in, I was president of that one too. We had an opportunity to go into a community that was already established, but hadn't done anything as far as the needs of the community. Any regulations, any rules. So a lot of things could be done that shouldn't be done, like architecturally. So I took another one of my contacts, who was an architect, and said, how about if we hire you anytime anybody wants an architectural change, and you'll come and approve it. Well, this architect happened to be the one who designed the community in the first place. So that was really easy for him. And each time somebody wanted to do an amendment to their manor, then we had him come in and evaluate that for them. So I am at the point now where I am ready to come back on our board, and I am asking for your permission to join the board again. Thank you.